Okay, my friends, here it is. The video that is going to show you, the beginner on a budget, exactly how to start seeds so that you can have the best degree of success for the budget. So I'm not going to bog you down with a bunch of information. We're just going to get right into it. So if you follow this setup exactly, then you will have success. So the first thing is a light. We have to have a light, guys. That's number one, because putting them in a sunny windowsill just doesn't produce the high quality plants at all. So, but fortunately for us, they've come a long way. So all you need is an LED shop light from the store. This one's from Menards. And you see this one is 5,000 lumens. Get one that's at least 5,000. Preferably 10 or 15,000 also works good too. That's the measure of light brightness. So 5,000 lumens, and the K means the tone of the light. You want one that is at least 4,000. This one can go to 5,000, so we're going to set it to that. But most shop lights are going to be at 4K. So this light, guys, $16 from Menards. Next thing is going to be the timer. Now, I consider this essential because despite your best intentions, you are not going to remember exactly to the minute or even the hour when your lights are coming on and off. And maybe you spend the night somewhere and leave it on for 24 hours. That kind of stuff wigs the plants out. And many people have issues, and they don't even realize that it's inconsistent light timing. But I do. And so set this, get the timer. This timer was $7, $6.50 I think. And get the timer, set it for 16 hours on and 8 hours off. And you never mess with it. So that's the bare minimum right there. A light and a timer. And I'll show you how to set it up. But if you have just a little bit more to invest, guys, it's going to really up your degree of success if you can get the seed starting mat. Now, this is the big mat that we can fit 4 of our trays on. Now, when you get the mat, you want to always get the thermostat with it because you want to be able to set it at 80 degrees and let it go. And that, between the light and the heat mat, is really going to ensure a good degree of success. Next thing we're going to utilize to put the seeds in is these trays. $1.50 from Menards or wherever it is. Then we're going to get us some stacks of red Solo cups. Now, red Solo cups are great because you can get like 150 of them for $5 or $10, I think. And they are reusable. 2 to 3 to 4 years you can reuse these before you recycle them. And you can, to put drainage holes in them, you can take a hot nail on a heat source and then simply pierce it through all of the stack at the same time. And then just like that, you've got a bunch of good quality drainage holes. Now, the reason that we're going to utilize these size of Solo cup and not the tiny little packs, anything smaller than this, guys, when you're just starting out, is you don't want that, because this amount of soil is going to give you the highest buffering, the highest degree of error. Because the smaller the thing is, the smaller the root zone is, the quicker it will dry out and you will have issues. So just do it like this, and you can fit 3 across in these tomato trays, just like this. And now let's go set it up, guys. Okay, my friends, here it is, the bare minimum seed starting setup that will still give you relative success. So we have the timer plugged into the power source, which is the orange cord, and then we have the lights plugged into the timer. And the timer allows the lights to come on for 16 hours and keeps them off for 8 hours. This is the ideal setup as far as light timing. So this is going to give us good, intense light that is consistent, and that is very important for success. So this is a good way if you're on a super tight budget, but this way with the heat mat is far superior, and I'll show you in a minute why. So we have our timer still and set to 16 on, 8 off, and we have the lights plugged into the timer. But now we have a thermostat, and we can set the thermostat at 80 degrees. You see, I just set this up, so it's not fully up to heat yet. But then we plug the heat mat into the thermostat, and this part is very important. You want to put the probe into the soil. You have to keep it deep into the soil like this so that the thermostat knows what the temperature of the soil is. So you can see here why it's important to have a heat mat, because the soil is 57 degrees, guys. We just plugged it in and set it up at 80, and it'll bring it up to 80 degrees. But if we are going to plant into 57 degree soil, guys, we're probably going to have all kinds of issues. There's going to be green fungus. There's going to be gnats. The plants are not going to grow with the same vigorous energy that they should. They're going to damp off and just kind of wither away to nothing. Okay, it's so much more beneficial to have it all happening at the 80 degrees. And I want to show you that these lights are about 19-20 inches away from the plants. You don't need to lower these any lower than that. This will work just fine, my friends. So there you have it, my friends, the most budget-friendly option while still maintaining a relatively high degree of success, which is important because next week we will be starting onions and ginger. So get the setup, get the timers all dialed in so that everything's working, maybe run you a batch or two of microgreens or wheatgrass to make sure that everything is functioning properly, because the season is approaching, my friends. So if you feel like you gained something from the video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with anyone you think could benefit from this knowledge, and also leave a comment. First thing that comes to mind, just share your thoughts with all of us. And if you would like to learn more, I'll direct you to this video here, which will explain to you in much more depth the 5 key elements that plants need for success. And at the end of that video, you will see the ultimate baller status seed starting setup.